now to engage Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. Right here in studio with me. But before we do that, let's take a look at some clips that we have for you on what his journey has been like to date.
There has been speculation that he will be the one, and now he's looking away. Let's call it the results.
Okay. Why really? Yeah.
$973, Philip Kaloki, 1,438. I, the returning officer, the county returning officer for Makueni County, hereby declare Mutula Kilonzo Jr. duly elected senator for Makueni County.
Kazi inaanza mara moja, tunafanya mikakati, tukutane na viongozi wote, tukae chini, tupange mikakati, tusikizane nini tunafaa kufanya mbele, tukutane na governor, tukutane na wale wote wamechaguliwa ili tuanze kazi.
And he is right here with me in studio, Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
You're most welcome.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's get right to it. I want to take you back to earlier this year in April. You received news that your father has passed away at his ranch in Manzoni.
Yes.
Take us back to that time and you know, just you immediately taking charge.
It's not exactly a nice story that I want to share, but I received the news about his, in fact, I was told that he was unwell. And so I drove there and, well, only to find that he was lifeless and was not there anymore. It wasn't exactly something that I like talking about.
Right. And let's move on to your sister Kathy. Immediately after that, you know, vying for the Makueni seat, senatorial seat, and the back and forth that came with that. You know, it was a bit of a trying time for her. You as her big brother at this time, what are you feeling?
Stressed. I was extremely stressed about the things that were happening. The runaround, because I was certain in my own mind that there were all intrigues and political intrigues, and the poor girl obviously didn't know about all these things when she, you know, voluntarily said that she wanted to vie for senatorial seat in Makueni. So this girl, innocent, legal profession, into the murky world of politics, den of wolves, and all these machinations and things that are happening, it wasn't interesting at all. Yes.
You know, and has she recovered from that awful experience? I know, I mean, you as her brother, obviously, at this time, must have played, you know, a key role in just standing by her and just being supportive. Has she recovered from that awful experience?
My sister Kathy is stronger than she looks. So Kathy is back to work. She has always been. She walked away as quickly as possible and removed herself from the world of politics immediately that she was declared that she cannot contest. So, not that she has recovered, she recovered immediately. And
then you took over and went, you know, out for it, you know, vying for the seat, you know, a historic victory for you, and the challenge now of wearing such big shoes, the shoes of your father.
Yes. Of course, you have missed it. It was full throttle.
Yeah.
4 days of electrifying campaign. It wasn't 5. It was actually 4 days. Absolute electrified campaign. The people of Makueni, let me tell you, were extremely determined, and I mean across the board, right from the youth old women, and I have not seen anything like that. By the way, I think I would love to go for another campaign like that one.
So, I mean, this is obviously a new ball game for you, because initially Kathy, was fronted as, the candidate, and then now comes you and electrifying campaigns. You're declared Makueni senator, quite busy time for you. Did you get time in all of this to grieve your father? Really, it must have been a roller coaster ride.
You missed something. My victory was 92%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so time of grieving my father came a little later, particularly during the tribulations of my sister. It was obviously evident that if my father was alive, my sister would not go through the sort of mess she went through at the time when she was in court. Yeah, so of course I had time to grieve alone, and when I did, it was, yes, it was grief, indeed.
Right, and let's go to the lighter side of things. I mean, every Mheshimiwa has a pet name. The people in Makueni, the Mwaitos, the elderly ladies, the old men. What do they call you? We know you as Junior, but what do they call you?
The people of, if you go out there and ask for Junior, they will tell you, come on, Akaito. Yeah, that's what they call me.
Yeah.
The old women who came to the campaigns call me that. But that's the elderly.
Right.
The younger generation call me Junior because they identify with that. Yes.
Do they know you? I mean, the people of Makueni, when, for instance, if you happen to stop at a marketplace, are they able to pick you out, to pick you from, the crowd of persons that you may be with? Are they able to say, that is, like you say, Kamwana Kaito, our boy? Are they able, do they know you?
Some of them don't know me. Happened to have stopped by somewhere in Mali at some point during a trip from a church in Kibwezi. And I went into a shop, and this lady, when she realized it was me, she walked out and said, Senator, we cannot fit in this shop, the two of us. So she left. Yeah. And was very shocked that I went there.
Yeah, because you don't just ambush someone. I mean, the senator has arrived. I need to be in my best kitenge.
I went into a market in Water. It's called Malikiti, and they were extremely shocked to see me there. I've stopped in several places where they have, they don't know me. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of people who ended up voting for me don't know me. But if you go to Makueni today, you find posters everywhere. Some of them keep them in kitchens, some of them keep them in markets, the women keep them in their stalls, etc., etc. I mean, it's kind of exciting. Yes.
And now to the Senate and the perception that it's Nyumba ya Wazee, a lot of, guys who are in their prime there, let's talk about the Senate and you just being in that environment, and for you, how you're coping with that. Is that a bit of a challenge, or have you just adjusted and fitted in?
For me, it was hand in glove, but let me say this. I don't know when you say Nyumba ya Wazee,
well, it's been thrown around, that name
who you are referring to, because I don't know. I mean, other than Senator Gigi Karaoke, who has been in Parliament for a long time, and the likes of my good friend Zipporah Kitoni, there are no old people there. So it's not Nyumba Wazee. And even if there was Nyumba Wazee, you're talking about politicians who are extremely qualified, extremely experienced. So it's a difference. And I've had, these people welcomed me well, showed me the ropes quickly and said, now fly. Senator Kalole refers to me as the Dean of Makueni. The title that I happily agree with or happily took over.
So you've been able to find your voice in the midst of those senior colleagues?
It's a fact, because the procedures are there, standing orders are there. If I have a query, I have several queries that are pending to be answered in the Senate. If I need to say something or contribute to a motion, I contributed to a motion on this famous Sang bill about the establishment of county boards and many other motions. I didn't have to look for my voice, Lillian. I've always had my voice, but I've found my place in the Senate, particularly because there are I have been put in committees which I relate to.
Right.
I'm in the Committee of Finance, which looks at the revenue that is going to all over the country. I mean, I have it on my fingertips. I'm in the committee on law and legal rights and human rights perspective. Everything that is in the Senate passes through our committee.
Right.
So,
and perhaps the people of Makueni would be asking, what priority issues are you looking into for them? How are you representing them in the Senate, and what issues are you looking at?
It's fair that I tell you, Lillian, because it's fair that you understand it, so that I answer that question. Allow me to digress. Under Article 96, a senator is supposed to have an oversight role on county government and county assembly. So we start there. The county of Makueni has already prepared a strategic plan. It's called a CIDP, which is at the floor of this assembly. So the people of Makueni, together with leaders, have given their views to county government as to what they want to prioritize. We have many issues. We have issues concerning water, we have issues concerning roads, we have issues concerning the environment, we have issues concerning schools. I might interest you in the details if you're interested in trivia.
Yeah.
We have roughly 998 schools, primary. They have about roughly 7,000 teachers, a ratio of about 1 to 33. We have 300 or so secondary schools with 2,500 teachers, a ratio again of 1 to 37. We have, if you go to Makueni, really, you cannot talk about roads because we do not have roads. Now, if you go to the county of Makueni, and you know I love that county, we have 190 kilometers of Athi River crossing through the county. We have, in fact, most likely in the whole of the Kamba region, we have what we call a water tower. I'm sure you don't know what that is. If you don't know, ask Dr. Isaac Kalua. It's Chulu Wheels, Lillian. So why don't we have water?
Yeah. So obviously a lot of issues that you guys are looking into.
Yes, of course.
And I'm sure the people of Makueni, are happy to know that those are on the table and being looked into. Let's talk about your law firm and the fact that, of course, you've been a lawyer for a while now. But just looking back at your choice to become a lawyer, was that dictated upon you by your father, or did you, always want to be a lawyer? And if not a lawyer, what else?
Let me tell you a story, so that then I answer your question. When I was through with primary, I told my dad that I wanted to work with him. And his answer was that you will only work in this law firm when you qualify to become a lawyer. And that is exactly what happened. And by the time I qualified to become a lawyer, I was hired immediately. At 19 years old, I was working at Kilonzo and Company Advocates.
Wow. At 19? At
19. I used to clean his desk. I used to, take care of...
Because by that time, you haven't gone to campus.
I was in campus. But at 19 years old, I was working at Kilonzo and Company Advocate as a messenger.
Wow.
Yes.
So you started at your dad's law firm as a messenger?
Yes, and a clerk. He used to find me in the office.
Amazing.
At 6 o'clock, he used to find his desk clean, and Junior is around. And I did that for the period that I was in campus and until I graduated. Yes.
So no special treatment, no, this is my son, so he'll get a bit of, privilege as far as, just taking
I can tell
position
you
as a lawyer in the farm.
No. In fact, my mother wanted to quit at some point. She told me, your father is mistreating you. Why are you supposed to do this? You're a lawyer. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And I told her, you really can't understand this. But he had a vision. And the vision was, and he explained, and he said, one day, son, you're going to walk into this office and you'll find your desk not clean. What are you going to do? Go back home. You're going to walk into your office and find no clerk. What will you do? You one day walk into your office and your secretary has not come to work, and etc., etc. So you must learn these things. And true to his word, when I walk into my office at 6 a.m., it's as clean as a hospital.
Wow. So
because they know.
So you're a bit of a control freak in that area.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. It's because I understand it. I understand what they're supposed to clean. If I walk into the office, I'll go and lift the seat.
Yeah, but I hope you're not going everywhere and doing this and saying,
I will check because part of my training.
Right, okay.
It's part of my training, and that is what my father wanted me to do.
And talking about training, let's talk about school. Did you go to the posh schools? I mean, where did you go to campus? Did you study locally?
No. There's a misconception that Junior grew up with some silver spoon in his mouth. It's a misconception. I went to a school called Jamhuri Primary School, and it's next to Impala. And then high school, I went to Nairobi Milimani. And I went to a prestigious university called Nagpur University. It's produced one of the best lawyers in town.
Actually, one of your schoolmates, writing in and saying.
Yeah. I mean, really, we don't come any better.
So no silver spoon for you guys.
Never, ever. Never. Not at all.
And you know, just
that wasn't him.
Okay, that was not your dad.
No.
And you know, back to your upbringing, you know, the fact that now you're Makueni senator, and of course, as a senator, you need to be able to speak the language of the people. Are you familiar with the Kamba language? I mean, growing up, did you visit the village regularly with your dad?
You should hear me sing.
Sing.
You know, you missed in your clips. The most important thing that I did is that I could sing during the campaigns.
Sing, let's hear you. Let's hear you. We'd like to
for
hear
example, then in the rallies, I would say, Alamakola sia Mutula Kaumava Tioyo Moyoke Mumone. I mean,
wow, you've got a nice voice. I know that song. It's a welcome song.
It's a welcome song.
In politics, in campaigns, in weddings.
Weddings, etc., etc.
Wow. Fantastic. So you're very, I mean, you speak.
And when I was young, I used to go to the village, fetch water, etc., etc. And I mean, really, there's nothing new.
Family, is Mutula Kilonzo Jr. married? Of course, you're this young senator. The ladies obviously looking and wondering, is this a single guy? Is he taken?
There's nowhere to look. I'm married. Yeah, I'm married, and I've been married for the last 3 years, and I have a daughter.
Oh, fantastic. What's her name, your daughter?
Kalista Mutete.
Great. And let's move away from politics now and talk about you as the 38-year-old. Where do you hang out? What do you like to do when you're not in the Senate or when you're not at the law firm? What do you like to do?
I don't know what you mean by hanging out, but my idea of leisure is zoning out and taking it easy and relaxing, because by the time it's Friday, my mind is taxed properly. So I take time off, take a drive to Mboni, got a beautiful farm there, and I do a lot of things. My family is coming up with a nice building there, so that's what I do. Other than that, I am a Rotarian, and it's fair that you join Rotary, Lillian, because it gives you pleasure, service above self. We do many things and helping communities. Just the other day, this week, I got a request for prosthetics, legs. And I just picked up the phone and called a Rotary, and I said, there are 2 people from Makueni who need prosthetics. And they will be given on Monday. In the Standard, a day after I was elected, there was this old man from Kibwezi who was carried to a polling station. And that pained me as a Rotarian. And again, using my own sources, looked for Rotary, and in a week he had a wheelchair. So other than work, I do what we call, you can call it humanity.
Wow, so you're a man with a heart for the people, and that's great. Let's talk about you know, what kind of music you like. You know, they've been playing Kenwa Maria's Fundamentals on the news on Truth Meter. What kind of music do you like? How do you unwind?
Kenwa Maria has a song. He had the song during my campaigns.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of soul, actually.
You are?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so.
It wouldn't move me from the dance floor.
Great, nice. Yeah, and your favorite artist, who would you say? You're saying it's not Kenwa Maria, it's soul. So.
Do I have a favorite artist? No, I don't. Yeah.
So you just love soul.
I like, there's something good about every other artist. I can't say that this is the person who I would die for. Never.
Okay. And Manzoni, going back to Manzoni, the ranch, you know, the lions there, and I think cheetahs as well. You know, do you go there occasionally?
Yes,
how is the ranch operating now?
The ranch has always been operating. It had its own management, and it's actually Kwachelu Ranch.
Wow.
It's called Kwachelo Ranch. But that is a conservancy, which my father had a passion for. And so the family will continue running it because that is what he wanted. But, you know, more importantly, and many people might not know, it's not just the keeping of lions and cheetahs, it's an absolute ecosystem. Because you have livestock are poisoned by snakes.
Yeah.
The animals are eaten by the lions and cheetahs, etc., etc. You have eagles eat the snakes, eat the rats.
Okay, back to biology class. So, one of the lions is named after you or after your father?
It's named after my father. Yeah, it's named Mutula, but there's only one Mutula left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, you know, as we wind up, Senator Mutula, one thing that not a lot of people know about you, very intrigued to know, something that probably you've never revealed to a lot of people. I want to pride myself in being the first to know.
Say that again.
Something that people don't know about you, something that a lot of people don't know about you, that might surprise people.
I'm not sure there's something that I would like to disclose that people don't know. And if they don't know, I don't know whether I want to inform them.
You know, that's the same exact thing everybody I ask that question
I mean,
here
really,
says.
if they don't know, you know what you don't know doesn't hurt you.
But surprise us. I mean, it will be the new thing about you that people didn't know.
There are a lot of things that people don't know about me, but you know, I can't pinpoint something that I can tell you, to tell your viewers that, you know, this, when you see Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. tomorrow, you know, now I know you know. No, I cannot pick some.
So are you still the same junior before this position, senator? I mean, do you walk, you know, on the streets of Nairobi, say hello to guys? Do you still hang out with your old boys? I mean, the guys that you used to hang out with, or have things changed now?
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed at all. If I get stuck in traffic between Parliament and Intercon, I walk. If I need to go somewhere across the road, I just walk.
Yeah.
So nothing has changed.
Okay.
Except when you walk around into a room and there are people uniformed, they want to salute, etc., etc. There's possibly too much saluting everywhere. But otherwise, Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr. has not changed, and in fact, my friends are advised not to call me senator.
Yeah, they're advised to call.
Oh yeah, they're advised to call me junior or use other names that they've been using before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if it's in Makueni, Junior.
Or if it, no. Oh, that was only for my father.
But he used to call you Junior, not Junior.
He couldn't pronounce the J.
Yeah.
So it came out as Junior.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with my grandfather, but I mean, they call me Junior.
Okay. And going forward, you know, as we finish, you know, are you happy with senator, or looking, you know, 4 years from now, perhaps could you be interested in something else, perhaps governor, perhaps, you know, member of the National Assembly, presidential even?
Well, let me tell you,
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is that I'm not moving backwards. I'm senator of Makueni County, so I don't think I would contest a member of parliament.
Yeah.
But I am also not planning that far in terms of contesting. I've got some priorities. I've got things that I would like to see done. I've told you before, maybe I haven't told you, but then I should say it, because it's fair that the people of Makueni know that if you look at the problems that bedevil Makueni, you will begin to wonder why possibly we are going to celebrate Jamhuri Day or independence, because these people lack basic services. So my goal for the 4 years that I've been elected senator is to put our leaders together to understand that Makueni alone has possibly never received 4 billion shillings in 12 months since 1963. That applies to Machakos and possibly applies to the rest of the counties. We have got resource. Makueni is a sleeping giant, and therefore, as far as I'm concerned, if we put our heads together, and we have as leaders of Makueni, we are going to make sure that the poverty that you talk about in Makueni is a thing of the past.
Yeah, and of course, you know, your take on what Alfred Mutua, you know, has achieved in Machakos County. You guys buddies, you guys, you know, very close, you know, in age-wise, you know, perhaps. So
no, he's my friend, and I'm happy about what he's doing. But you know, by the time we are through with Makueni, I mean, Machakos is going to be envying us. Because we have more resources in Makueni.
That's good competition, very healthy.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the railway line passes through Makueni. the Mombasa Road passes through Makueni, isn't it? The pipeline passes through Makueni. By the time they are finishing their city, all those things will have to pass through Makueni itself. So we are the sleeping giant. We are the big brother.
Right.
But I am happy that he has come up with such what I call revolutionary sort of plan, because
of course, and when people mention you guys, they mention, I mean, they throw his name, throw your name as well, the young leaders in Ukambani that are, you know, being looked upon to be the new breed of leaders that perhaps could take Ukambani to another level.
we are friends and we think alike.
Okay, fantastic. And you know, closing now, last question. Your father, words that he imparted on you that perhaps have shaped who you are today, that perhaps you could pass on to other generations that are watching you today, you know, in the words of your father, something that you carry to date and that you will carry with you going forward that has played a key role in shaping who you are today.
He said this, in fact, at a time he came to Citizen on Cheche, and he said, if you take away my wealth today, all of it, I would make the same wealth within 12 months. He said so because he invested more in his mind. He said, you cannot take away the things that I've put in my mind. So the loss of my father is the sort of things that we learned from him, and not the sort of thing that he will give it to you. He's the sort of person who didn't believe in giving people something, but believed in empowering you so that tomorrow you are able yourself to be better and make something that is much better than what he did. So to the young people, it's fair that you concentrate on investing in the right things, so that then the future, you do not then load yourself with the burden of material things. And that is a lesson that I learned from my father, and that is something that I will impart, because he is one person who was not only a mentor but a teacher. And a teacher in the sense that you should be a better person tomorrow. And you're a better person because I've invested this training. He continuously trained and said, this is the way to do this and this and this. This is the way to make wealth. This is the way to do this. And not saying, well, here is the key of my car, please drive my car. No, that's not the way he was. And that's the lesson.
So it would be then correct to say that you're walking in your own footsteps, guided by what he left in you.
Yeah, it's a fact. The sort of training that he did from the time that I was 19 years old and worked with him until his sudden demise on 27th of April, because I sat with him on 26th of April, and even on that 26th of April that I sat with him for the 30 minutes or so, he still imparted lessons, because he took every opportunity to say, this is what I would like you to do, invest in this, because there's something he said, this is what I have done, I'm happy because of 1, 2, 3, 4 things, so therefore the lesson is X. And therefore, although he has left us, he has left invaluable lessons for myself and my siblings, for those who want to learn.
Okay,
yes.
Great. And I must thank you so much for talking to us and sharing, you know, on so much on Citizen Weekend tonight. Really, really glad that you were able to come by.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I'm glad I've shared the same seat that my governor shared, but and I'm happy that we are bothered to share with the country the things that we want to do.
Great.
It's actually the first interview I've done after my election.
Yay! Awesome! It's your first interview?
Yes, yes, it
wow,
is.
very privileged to have hosted you in studio tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We've been talking to Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Senator Makueni County. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow on Citizen Weekend. Have a good night and God bless. I'm Lillian Mulikanene.